Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, no, I'm not filming from my car. I'm still in my office. Decided to clickbait you guys. No, because I just want to do something different with a thumbnail. But I still want to talk about Bitcoin and the bullish metrics that no one should ignore. So that is what I'm going to share tonight. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media and check out CryptosRUs.com and follow CryptosRUs Clips, brand new channel. All right, I'm a little off my game tonight, but anyways, welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Bitcoin is doing better. The entire market is doing better. So that's fantastic. And I still have a lot more to share with you guys each and every stream. All right. So Bitcoin is at 39.4, 39.3, right? Slowly climbing its way back up, right? And it does look like it wants to cross that 40,000 mark once again. We're so close. Can we see that happen even in this stream? You know, we tend to have these George pumps, right? And maybe we're going to get that this stream tonight. It generally happens at night for whatever reason. Maybe that's when Do Kwon is watching this show. Maybe. But Bitcoin is up, obviously, from its low of, I don't know, last night or this morning. No, it's probably last night. There's still a lot of fear out there, right? And obviously we didn't recover completely, but that's okay. That means we have more time to buy the dip and to dollar cost average. So you have to look at the glass half full, right? We have this golden opportunity to continue to accumulate while things are still cheap. And that is what we should do. That is what I'm doing, and that is what a lot of people are doing. All right, so let's get to all this bullishness that I want to talk about. Well, I did see tomorrow NASDAQ is in the green, Dow is barely in the green, so tomorrow could be a pretty good day for markets. And Facebook, of all companies, really shocked Wall Street because everyone thought Facebook was going to bomb their earnings, but it turned out it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Actually beat all expectations in an aftermarket. They're up about 20%. So we know that Microsoft reported yesterday. It was really good, kind of carried the market. Facebook is carrying the market. I kind of expected this week, if anything, was going to be carried by earnings, and some of these big tech companies are performing. So that's pretty positive. Could be a big thing for tomorrow. All right. Now, what else is there? Well, I did see this. Of course, Ukraine, Russia, that conflict is still ongoing, but over $100 million has been donated to Ukraine utilizing crypto, right? Fantastic way to instantly send funds to Ukrainians that need help, right? Finland, the country of Finland, is actually thinking about donating all of their confiscated Bitcoin to help Ukraine. Around $77 million. That's a really good cause, right? Because they don't know what to do with the seized Bitcoin. Why not donate it to Ukraine who needs it, right? And maybe other countries will follow too. But it does show how good Bitcoin is as a payment network, right? Anyone on earth, even countries, can send as much as they want instantaneously with almost zero fees and no middleman. You can send 24 hours a day. You don't have to worry about if someone's closed or there's going to be monstrous fees or someone's going to confiscate your funds or block your funds, right? You don't have to worry about any of that. And this is being proven in front of the world right now as countries are sending other countries Bitcoin. Think about that. So let's just start with that. Very, very positive. I don't know if this is positive. BlackRock getting into something is never really that positive, but they are planning on launching a crypto-exposed ETF with a sizable Coinbase allocation. What does this mean? Well, BlackRock is launching ETFs not backed by Bitcoin, but backed by Bitcoin and crypto-related companies because they know there's a lot of interest in crypto these days, right? So they are jumping in. But again, BlackRock themselves, kind of shady, don't know what's going on. A lot of rumors about how they're the ones that's propping up the housing market because they were buying houses left and right. And whatever else they were doing with anything else. But yeah, they are go get involved. I don't know if this is actually good or bad, but I'm just bringing it anyways. Another institution, Goldman Sachs, who has been very, 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 very pro Bitcoin and crypto recently. Now they're looking at tokenization, utilizing NFTs. Yes, NFTs could be used more than just pictures. They are looking at tokenization of real assets like real estate and financial instruments. Right? This already started in the crypto world, but I've said a lot of regulatory uncertainty, like a lot of laws, like when you fractionalize real estate, right? Who's going to recognize it? How legal is it? Is the courts going to recognize it, right? There's a lot of iffiness that's still ongoing, but Goldman Sachs is exploring it. So maybe we'll get some regulatory clarity on tokenization of financial instruments, or of crypto, or of real assets like collectibles and real estate. You know, it's all coming. And one of the reasons why, you know, we are still so early. I've been saying that for a while. Right now, Bitcoin and crypto, as big as they are, still we're so early. Nowhere close to reaching the end. The final destination, okay? Nowhere close. All right. TradeMate said, that's what she said. All right, moving on. Let's talk about some of these bullish metrics, okay? There's a lot of bullish metrics. You know, these days, I know that there's a lot of FUDsters spreading FUD. Also, a lot of people are just very worried about recession, right? A lot of talk about the coming recession of 2022. A lot of people talking about bear market. A lot of people talking about Bitcoin crashing, right? There's a lot of speculation about, you know, what's to come and what's going to drive Bitcoin down. That seems to be a new narrative. Everyone is talking about what is driving Bitcoin down and what will drive it down, right? Like literally, I'm like the only one telling you guys to focus on long term and to focus on the gains and the life-changing wealth that will come by holding and having patience at DCAing. Seems like everyone else is just turning all bearish and just telling you, you know, it's going to get much, much worse, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I do know economic slowdown is coming, and I do know rate hikes are coming, right? But a lot of that is starting to be priced in already. And whatever, you know, whenever I look at Bitcoin's metrics, the ones I'm about to show you, makes me more bullish than ever because they're all going up in the right direction, not the wrong direction, right? This is why I believe in Bitcoin so much. Not just so much of what others saying and what news is saying, but if you look at what is really behind the scenes, then you'll know that Bitcoin is stronger than ever and will continue to be strong going forward. All right, so let's take a look at some of these. First, let's look at, there's two. I've been showing the total hash rate, which kind of already tells a story, but there's also network difficulty, and this is, of course, measuring the miners. The ones that are powering the network, the network I just got done talking about, how it's so good and any country could send other countries Bitcoin. Well, if you look at the miners that are powering the network that are spread across the world, not just in China. Before, you could argue, well, Bitcoin's more centralized because there's more mining in China. That's not the case anymore. China did us a favor and kicked out all the miners. Now it's globally distributed and not centralized in any geographical location, right? But these miners continue to grow and grow and grow. Network difficulty of the Bitcoin network is at an all-time high. This is the most difficult it's ever been in history. Think about that, okay? And why is that? Because we have the most miners mining Bitcoin in history, okay? That means the network is stronger. The more miners that there are on the network, the harder it is to solve the algorithm, but it also secures the network even more. Bitcoin is the strongest and safest network we have right now, not controlled by any centralized entity or country, and completely unhackable. Okay, so how's the network? The network is doing just fine. In fact, strongest ever, because we are at all-time high for total hash rate and network difficulty. And it continues to go up. The only reason why we dipped over here was because China kicking out the miners. Otherwise, we would be even higher, right? So that is the first thing I want to talk about, which is very positive. Second thing is liquid versus liquid supply, which is at an all-time high. These are all all-time high metrics, by the way, or almost all of them. The liquid supply is at an all-time high, despite the fact that price is not. The price is actually trailing at this point, right? Same thing with the hash rate. Price is actually trailing while the fundamentals continue to grow and reach new all-time highs. For example, a liquid supply, over 64%, okay, has not moved in the last year alone. But if you're just measuring a liquid itself, over 78%. These are all-time high record numbers, which show the number of holders are stronger than ever and continue to hodl and DCA, and that is exactly what's happening, right? So also very, very important. Extremely important, right? And what about this? What about the balance on the exchanges? Do you notice something on the very right-hand side? Well, you may have noticed that it's going down, and it's going down at a very rapid rate. Okay, also very good. The number of Bitcoins left on exchanges, right, for trading is decreasing each and every day, and recently, since the start of 2022, it's been dropping even faster. And why is that? Because first of all, the holders I just got done mentioning is DCAing more, but also you do have a lot of whales that are buying. The ones that keep taking Bitcoin off the exchanges and they're putting it in their custodian or in their cold wallets, and it's being removed. And this is also happening. You don't see an influx, unlike previous times where there were times where you could see an uptick, right, in terms of the balance on exchanges. Right now, there's no uptick at all. It just keeps going down and down and down and down, which is also extremely, extremely positive, something that makes me very, very bullish. Because the more Bitcoin that gets removed, the less there is circling out there, part of the liquid supply, right? But the liquid supply continues to go up and up and up. And this is also very bullish. All right, what else is there? Well, I just got done talking about the whales. This is measuring whale addresses. And these are millionaire addresses. And they have been accumulating. There's been times where, yes, they do sell off. You know, some of these whales, I don't know why, but there are times they do sell off. But there's also many times where they start accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. And this happens to be one of those times. Despite the fact we are low, they are accumulating. And it makes sense because when do they accumulate? They accumulate when things are low. They buy low, right? So right now, the accumulation you can see on the right side is growing really, really quickly. And also, this is something that also from Will Komet, he posted this, kind of saying the same thing. There are times where these ultra-rich whales, they may decide to sell. Or maybe they're just really manipulating the market. However, right now, if you look on the right-hand side, it is increasing by a lot, even though the price is down, right? So it shows you there are still a lot of buying going on right now. And let's not forget, on a global scale, Bitcoin is also being adopted as legal tender. A Central African Republic, second country in history, in Bitcoin's history, or in the history of the world, you could argue, to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. And this is only the beginning too. So now you have more and more countries also adopting Bitcoin, which is, of course, very bullish. And these countries are adopting Bitcoin because they have problems of their own. They're either under the stranglehold of the IMF or the World Bank, or they have a lot of problems with economic turbulence, right? With hyperinflation. There could be other reasons, but they're looking for Bitcoin as a safe haven, right? Which is why a lot of us are buying Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin for that safe haven aspect. And that's why they're adopting. And also a lot of these countries simply don't even have a lot of banks. Most of their citizens are unbanked. And what Bitcoin does is make each one of these people a bank of their own with their own wallet on their mobile phones. That's also important. And this is just the beginning too. Just the beginning. And what else is there? Well, a lot of other stuff that's been happening recently. Fidelity offering 401k investors to invest in Bitcoin directly, right? This is absolutely huge. If you look at a number of 401k retirement funds out there, billions upon billions upon billions, right? Now, these people can be putting that money into Bitcoin, right? So this is also positive. And of course, you have cities that's starting to mine Bitcoin, right? This is in the US too. Fort Worth is going to start mining Bitcoin as a city. I mean, these are all such bullish news, right? Bullish metrics, bullish news. This is what I'm looking at. So while everyone is concentrating on recession, right? Concentrating on bear market, concentrating on selling? No, not me. I'm concentrating on these and these metrics and these news and adoption, right? This is what I'm concentrating on. And this is what's most important because this will drive Bitcoin forward and it'll drive Bitcoin upwards and it will keep Bitcoin relevant basically forever as the greatest store value that we have and the greatest payment network that we have, right? This is what I'm bullish on and why I'll stay bullish literally forever, right? So this is what I want you guys to concentrate on too, because if you're concentrating on day-to-day, minute by minute price fluctuations, you go drive yourself wild. You could drive yourself nuts and then you're going to FUD yourself out of the market and that does yourself no good and it doesn't do anyone else good, right? This is what to pay attention to. All right, so that's what I want to start with and kind of end with. That was a lot there. But a couple other things about metaverses. A lot of you guys, some of you guys are still into metaverses. ApeCoin is still going ape, SHIT. It's pushing above 20 now because of their metaverse other side that will be coming out in 3 days. A lot of hype around this. Whether or not it will continue afterwards, we don't know. But if it's a very successful launch and people want to ape into their new land, yeah, I could see ApeCoin going much higher than that. But it could be buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing too. Sandbox also is preparing for their new Epic Mega City 2 land sale. So Sandbox been selling a lot of extra land besides their normal world land. They opened up Epic Mega City 1 and now they're doing Epic Mega City 2. So they are selling a lot of land these days, but they do have a lot of Hong Kong investors and mostly this is for them, right? But if you want to grab some land, you can do so. And also, Decentraland just partnered up with the Millennium Hotels and Resorts. And now you can see virtual Millennium Hotels inside Decentraland. And there'll be an avatar inside to tell you more about the hotels. So, obviously, still more brands are still getting involved with the Metaverse. There you go. There you go. Outside of that, that's really it. Today can see a lot of greens, slight recovery, right? But tomorrow I think could be even better because, you know, honestly, I think a lot of the tech earnings go drive markets forward, at least not forward, but up slightly from the disastrous Monday and Friday, right? But that's short term. Long term, Bitcoin is stronger than ever. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Whew. In case any of you guys wondering, that thumbnail, the car I'm in, was my old Ferrari 360. I had that years ago, and it is a very nice car. Still looks amazing, sounds amazing. Can't beat that Ferrari sound, and it drives so raw. The only thing I regretted about that car was the F1 transmission wasn't the greatest at low speeds, but I no longer own that car. I sold that car a few years ago, but I do have a video of it on my drivers only channel. But in case you're wondering, it's a fantastic car, and that car has appreciated like nuts. It went up probably double now. That's the good thing about Ferraris. Leo Gomez says, you've been saying we're going to go up for the last 6 months. I haven't delivered. I'm pretty sure you don't know what you're talking about. Just assumption. Here's the thing, Leo. It shows how new you are. Because I've been saying that, not for 6 months. I've been saying that for 5 years. Okay? It's just like people that say, oh, you've been telling us to DCA since 69,000. No, I haven't. I've been telling people to DCA since 1,000. It's just because your time in crypto happens to be like that, when my time happens like that. And I look at years. I don't look at minutes or weeks or even months. I look at years. So before you start accusing people of being wrong or not knowing what they're talking about, maybe you should look at yourself and realize that you're still a noob and maybe you need to learn more and maybe you don't know what you're talking about. All right? So that's how I would answer you. Pro007, you're always talking off the ledge. Love your content, bro. Thank you. Can you check out SpearX? No, probably not. You know, whenever haters come up, right? It's because they're miserable. And they want to bring everyone down to their level because they feel miserable. They made mistakes. And they want to put that blame on others, right? But you know what? That does no one good. What's the point, right? You bring everyone down, causes more panic, causes more fear, and causes the market to go down even more. Is that really what you want? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's see. Polygon and TrueFi adopted in Texas for home purchases. I don't even know what that means. You mean a fiat on-ramp? Is that what you're looking at? Ronald, appreciate it. Adam, thank you. Let's see. What else? Chris asks, where are we in this BTC cycle? Or we need to wait until the next halving? Does not feel like 2018 bear market. No, it doesn't. Because we are at $39,000, $40,000. That's why it does not feel like 2018. If you lived through 2018, it sounds like you have, you'll know that things were much, much worse. Much worse, right? So that's why I don't believe we're in a 4-year cycle anymore. I think it's we're beyond the 4-year cycle. I do think the halving event still does. Of course, the halving event decreasing inflation rate Bitcoin still does have effect on the price and appreciation, but like right now, I don't think we're following the same patterns before, where after a blow off top, you have 3 years down and then another blow off top. Because I don't think we had a blow off top. We didn't in 2021, right? So we're still waiting for that. But here's the thing: we might not have a blow off top. We could just stair step upwards, and that's what I think will happen. We'll just keep stair stepping upwards. After the next halving event in 2024, we'll probably get even a bigger boost, but until then, right, I think that's what we do. We stair step up. Now, if you're wondering, well, why haven't we stair stepped up yet? Well, you got to pay attention. Look at what's going on out there. Look at how brutal it has been for the U.S. markets and world markets, in fact, right? You can't ignore that there's a war going on. There's a lot of uneasiness about that. And let's not forget inflation and all the government trying to stop it, right? So there's a lot of external factors that's playing into it right now, right? And nothing, not even gold, okay, or bonds are shielded from all these things. So of course Bitcoin is too, but yeah, that's how I see it. Alan Wong says, just doing DCA has saved me lots of money. Yes, because it takes the emotion out of it. That's really what the whole point of DCA is. It takes emotion out of it, takes guessing out of it, right? And it works. Johnny5, Mr. M3 says, honestly, really close to calling it quits and getting out. Was shorting BEA be a good idea right now? I don't. Just the other day, you were bullish on the market, and now you're 100% bearish. I don't know what happened there, Johnny, and I don't know what shorting what BEA is. Are you saying shorting Bitcoin? You should never short Bitcoin. If you do, you're setting yourself to get wrecked. That's what you're doing. So if that's what you're asking, then no. Alan, I'm glad to hear that. I am. And from Australia, awesome. I do appreciate that. Hey, you know what? Today's Wednesday. Today's DCA day. I almost forgot coin stats. All right. So unfortunately, because of all the dips, my portfolio from last year has lost a lot of the gains, but it's still up about 9%, right? Still in the green, but hopefully we get some recovery and get this back up. But last week, I don't remember what I added last week, but what am I under positioned on? Near sold off a lot, so I think Near could be a good add. Phantom, Cadena, they both sold off quite a lot. I mean, honestly, this last week has been pretty brutal for everything, right? Other than exception of like Terra and Ape, and some of the other ones have held stronger, but others have really struggled. So today is actually a really good DCA day into a lot of things. So you know what? I'm gonna put a little more into. I think Phantom below $1 is pretty good. I mean, honestly, a lot of these stuff. There's a lot of. You know what? I'm gonna spread out. I'm gonna do Cosmos and Phantom. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's put $50 in each one of these. So that's probably 51, something like that. Yep. All right, and then Cosmos about 1031, so 1036. Okay, 4.8. So Cosmos, add a little more. 4.826. There you go. All right. So this week I added $50 of Phantom, $50 of Cosmos, which I do like. I like both a lot. So, but not only them, but many others. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, guys. All right. So that's DCA. What did I miss? Ooh, a lot of super chats here. Might be over for these crypto center metaverse plays. What? No, I don't get it. One big name, deep pocket tech giant, true pushing their own. Well, I mean, Facebook is already doing that, but are they taking over the metaverse? No. Metaverse is harder than it seems. It's just like social media. Just because you throw a lot of money into a metaverse does not mean it's going to become the biggest. And let's not forget, these metaverses are absolutely huge. Animoca Brands, which owns Sandbox, for example, is worth $5 billion. They are not a small company. ApeCoin is valued in the billions too. I forgot what they were valued at last time. So these guys are already considered big boys, right? But even someone like Facebook, are they dominating the metaverse space? I don't hear anyone talking about the metaverse, right? So I think it's still very early. The fact that BTC has outperformed the stock market year to date, and given the macroeconomics macro environment and holding this price is insane. It is. I wouldn't say insane, but it's showing that it can be a hedge, right? But it's just really hard to go against the grain when everything is being sold off, right? Even like gold is being sold off. But it does show the strength, because if you look at year-to-date of Bitcoin versus like year-to-date of, I don't know, the NASDAQ index, Netflix, PayPal, they're down like 80% year-to-date, right? And Bitcoin isn't. So yeah, if you look at it that way, it does show the strength of Bitcoin and how much it's gotten stronger over the years based on all these metrics I showed you about holders and the network, right? And the whale activity. I mean, these things play a part. Andre asked you about Sky, dark crypto shares up 100% in down market. Can you look at it and talk about it in further stream? No, I'm just kidding. Are you talking about Sky Coin? Yeah, no. Sky Coin, or are you talking about one of these others? Because Sky Coin, you should not be involved with. I think the only reason why they went up is because Coinbase or Gemini added them. They were shilled by John McAfee, the late John McAfee, and they're all about creating a decentralized internet, but you have to buy this huge hardware box to run a node, and it just doesn't make any sense. So if you're asking about this, then no. But then you're talking about dark crypto shares. So is there something else? Are you asking about dark or Sky? I don't know. But hopefully it's not Sky. I'm no fan of it. Keeping 30% aside for rainy day, not just for a rainy day. Just keeping 30% aside at all times is a really good strategy, so that you can DCA and buy the dip, right? I think having cash on the side is very, very important. That's how you can sustain yourself over a long run. Zan, thank you. Appreciate it. Matt Thompson, Shift Chain, great APRs. Never heard of it. I'm sorry. Mike, I don't think that the whole process of Elon taking Twitter private has happened yet, but that's what he wants to do. Do you miss the old days of crypto? A part of me misses the underground days of cryptocurrency. Yeah, not really. I get it. Like if you're more like a developer, a coder, a hacker, right? To hang around in Bitcoin talk and running your own code for mining and sending private messages. I get it if you're into that kind of stuff, but no, I don't really miss it. I much prefer now than before, to be honest. I think things are much easier to use. There's a lot more wallets available, right? A lot more ways, a lot more dexes. There was no good dex before, right? There was no way to really stake either other than just mine Bitcoin and mine Ethereum. So I think the environment now is just so much more friendly and so much more usable. And of course, the big money in this space doesn't hurt. And that's why things are 100 times bigger than before. SpareX is like Luna UST, seems legit. There's a lot of things that seems like Luna UST. Does not mean that they're going to rise to the same level. Johnny, I think I'm getting impatient, antsy. Okay. I get it. Because many are in your shoes. I get it, right? But here's the thing. If you didn't invest more than what you could afford to lose, meaning that whatever you have in the market, as long as it doesn't affect your day-to-day, like you can still pay your rent and mortgage, you can still pay for your groceries, you can still support your family, your car payments, right? If you did not invest more than what you can afford to lose, then you're okay because you could continue to DCA. Or you just, even if you don't DCA, just continue to hold it. Many people did it in 2018, all the way until 2021. They had to wait 3 years, 3 long years. But guess what happened in 2021? Things came back and then they went up 10x, okay? Just by having patience and holding. But if you invested more than what you could afford to lose, meaning that you took out a loan, you bought things on credit card, right? You're paying massive interest, or you're going to get liquidated or margin called. Well, that's a different story, right? Hopefully you didn't do that, but if you did, then you have to make a tough choice and make a call. Maybe you do have to sell, right? But number one rule when it comes to investing is never invest more than what you can afford to lose. That's why you never buy on credit card. You never buy on debt. You never should put down your collateral or Bitcoin and crypto as collateral to borrow against. Those are things that you should not do. Sky Dark Crypto shares on CoinGecko. CoinGecko is not working. CoinGecko is down for some reason. All right. Anyways, Dark Crypto shares. What is it? It's labeled dark. It's not labeled sky. So it is this. Okay. So it's for what? It's a DEX. So you're talking about Sky, which is Dark Crypto share, 72 million. I don't know what it does. It's a dual currency kind of play. Fourth algorithmic token pegged to CRO, running on Kronos chain. Yeah. I have no thoughts. I don't know. I have no thoughts on this. It could be good. It cannot be good. Peg to CRO, that is a little iffy because if CRO goes down, then ultimately they will go down, right? So peg to something that's more like a stable coin makes more sense. But okay. I might look more into it because I don't really understand how it's different than some of the other algorithmic stable coins. But I guess they're not algorithmic stable coins, they're algorithmic tokens that's following CRO, so it's a little bit different. Rob G says, you skip my super chat. Well, rather than just leave a comment saying you skip my super chat, you should say you skip my super chat and then repeat the question so I don't miss it again. When are you going to be on Altcoin Daily? If he wants me on, then sure, I'll go back on. I like the Altcoin Daily bros. Rob, I don't know where your super chat is. I'm scrolling up, I don't see it. What are your thoughts on leveraged tokens? Don't do it. Leveraged tokens is guaranteed to lose money. I tried it. If you leverage tokens is meant for day trading, and if you plan on holding more than a day, you will start losing. It rebases itself every day, and for whatever reason, you know, let's say for example you hold on to leverage token and it's down like 10%, right? And you think, oh, the next day if it's up 20%, you should make up. You should make up what you lost, right? No, it goes up 20%, and you realize you're still down 10%. Like, don't do it. I played it before, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And don't play with margin either. Any update on XRP? Well, I do have something. I'll show you guys at the end of this stream. Take profits when Bitcoin hits 50, 60, 70 this year. No, I'm changing my strategy. I used to say that, but my strategy is this. Just to make sure I have that 30% cash pile on the side, right? So as things go up, right, that 30% will naturally come down. So you just want to take profits and keep making sure it's 30%. And the reason being, you don't know when the next top is. Whether or not we have a blow off top or not, we don't know. It could just be a stair step up. But one thing's for certain, we will have dips and corrections. And you have to make sure that you have money to be able to take advantage of those, right? So that's why I think just having that cash pile on the side, for me, I'm going to try to keep like around 30%. You don't have to be as aggressive. You could be 20%, 25, whatever, right? But I think that's the new strategy I'm going to be following. I have been following it already, but as we go higher, I think I'm just going to continue following that too. Zilliqa or Harmony? I like Harmony a little more, but Zilliqa is pretty strong because of their Metaverse play too. Are you bullish on Litecoin since Mimblewimble is projected to lock in by next week? No. I've been hearing about Mimblewimble since 2018. So it's been 4 years. 4 years. Finally coming, right? Finally coming. And what does it do? Nothing for Litecoin. It's not going to do anything for Litecoin. So even if you take my I don't know, dislike of Litecoin, let's just discount that, right? The only thing you need to know is this. Litecoin has underperformed versus Bitcoin literally forever, especially within the last 5 years. You could tell, right? Just go back to 2017. What was Litecoin's high? Like 400? Where's Litecoin now? Half of that? Where was Bitcoin's high in 2017? 20,000? Where is it now? 40,000? So Bitcoin has doubled since 2017, while Litecoin has gone down 50%. So kind of shows you. Why would you hold on to something that underperforms versus Bitcoin? No reason, right? So just look at that. I mean, that makes the most sense, right? I don't know why. I just got muted. I'm getting hacked by Brad Garlinghouse. Hello. All right.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.